Okay, yeah. So, hey guys, um, thanks for joining today's session on APM overview. And I'm really sorry for the initial hiccups. Okay, so as far as I understand, there are people who are joining from across different time zones. So, good morning and good evening, everyone. Okay, let me start sharing as well. Let me know once my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So, welcome to this overview course. Okay, and if you are willing to join the course, so welcome for the next 30 days of our APM journey. Okay, so before we start, just a quick brief about myself. My name is Abhijit. I am a QA professional with over 10 plus years of industry experience across multiple business domains, primarily focusing on web and mobile automation using various frameworks. Uh, Currently, I work as a QA manager at a product-based company. Okay. Um, if you want to talk about my APM skill set, so I have around like 5 years of experience where I have delivered end-to-end mobile automation scripts for a retail client. It was like just just in my last company. Okay, so while doing that, I gained extensive experience on that tool, and I would like to share that with you guys. Um, Alongside my regular work, I enjoy sharing my knowledge with the testing community, which is how I first connected with Isha Training Institute sometime back. And since then, I have had the opportunity to conduct several batches. Mostly, these are focused on APM. Okay. And apart from that, I have done some courses on Selenium and API testing as well. Okay, so my goal has always been to bring real world experience into the sessions so that the learners, that is you guys, can confidently move from your current roles into the roles you are aiming for. Okay, from what I understand, uh, many of you come from a manual testing background or have experience with Selenium or other automation tools, and you'd now like to transition into mobile automation, which is actually a very good thing to do right now. Okay, so I will be focusing on practical scenarios and interview oriented insights to help you make this shift effectively. So yeah, that's about me. And before we start, just a quick suggestion. Just for today, this is like more of a presentation session. So let me just finish what I have for the day. Okay, then I'm targeting to keep the last like 5-10 minutes for Q&A. I will be taking all your questions at that time. Okay. Um, yeah. So why we need mobile testing, first of all. Okay. As we all know, mobile technology has become the backbone of our digital lives. Today, nearly every service from what you would say, from banking to education to entertainment and healthcare is accessed through mobile apps. So this exponential explosion of mobile usage makes testing more crucial than ever. Okay. However, the challenge doesn't end with usage alone. There are like thousands of smartphone models in the market, each having their own like screen sizes, um, resolutions, hardware configurations, etc. That therefore, this I mean this what I would say this ensuring an app that delivers a consistent and seamless experience across all these devices is obviously not a very small task. Um, on top of that, we are dealing with two major platforms here. One is Android and another is iOS. And Each of these platforms have their own like multiple active versions right now. Like some mobile will have version 16, some 17, some 18, like that. Okay, so developers and testers must ensure that any app that is developed behaves uniformly across all these devices and across all these OSs. Um, Another important point is our networking speed. So now think of a real world scenario. Okay, you are a user operating under various network conditions. Now you might be working in a high speed 5G network, or you might be going somewhere to some remote place with barely any network. Okay, so the app that you are using must handle these fluctuations gracefully to maintain user satisfaction. Further, there are like frequent app updates pushed to production, sometime like weekly or even daily. So the need for faster and more reliable validation becomes very essential. Okay, as you know, like manual testing won't be alone won't be able to keep up with this release velocity, which is where this automation becomes very important. Okay, and lastly, with intense competition in every app category, be it like e-commerce or quick commerce, anything, uh, then we have these cab hailing apps and other like daily utility apps. This quality and usability determines our survival. Um, if you go through some research, I mean, you will find out that users will uninstall. I mean, as per our survey, you will find that users will uninstall an app within seconds if it lags or crashes or doesn't meet their expectations. I mean, if you take your example, you will obviously do that. If the app is not good, if performance is not good, functionality is not good, you will definitely uninstall it immediately. So, in summary, mobile testing isn't just optional anymore now. It is a strategic necessity to ensure performance, reliability, and customer loyalty in today's fast evolving digital system. Okay. Now, next is mobile automation. Okay, so this slide actually gets to the heart of why mobile automation has become so important. Like as I mentioned in my previous slide, mobile apps move fast. New features, bug fixes, then design tweaks are getting introduced very rapidly. And automation helps us keep up by executing tests faster and more reliably than manual effort. It it would I would say it cuts out the human errors and runs exactly what we designed it for every single time. Okay. Um, Another key piece here is repeatability. Any testing team, be it like web or mobile, they often deal with regression and smoke tests across every release. So naturally, automation lets us run these scenarios again and again with the same precision, which is obviously something that manual testing can't guarantee consistently. Um, One more important point I would mention here is better resource utilization. When automation handles the routine checks, testers can shift their focus to complex flows, exploratory testing, whatever you want to call it, then edge case testing and all. So all these things lead to improving the quality of a product. Okay. And finally, very important is the test coverage and speed. With so many combinations of devices, screen sizes, then OS versions and all, like I mentioned earlier, this manually achieving the full test coverage is very difficult. So obviously, in that case, automation plays a huge role. Thus, overall, mobile automation now is just isn't about speed. Okay, it's about consistency, coverage, smarter use of people's time, and ultimately the final goal that delivering a very reliable app. Okay, now the key factors. Okay, like when you're going for a mobile automation tool, how will you choose which tool you want to learn and work with? Okay, so when we are choosing this tool, maybe it can be our for our project work or anything, we are not just picking any something that can run a test. Huh. We are looking for a tool that fits real world constraints and scales with our needs. Out of this, the first big thing is cross platform support. I mean, for mobile automation tool. Okay, may very important is cross platform support. So any good automation tool should be able to handle both Android and iOS, and sometimes this web automation as well. I will be showing also that uh, during our course. So teams shouldn't have to maintain like 3 or 4 different frameworks for the same workflow, right? The more the unified the tool chain is, the smoother the development and testing process becomes. Um, Next is this black box testing capability. Generally, functional testers don't get access to the application's source code. And if you look at it that way, they don't need to, because they are testing the functionality of the app. So a solid automation tool should let us test purely from the tester's perspective. That is interacting with the UI, verifying behavior, and validating the functionality the same way an end user would. Okay. Then another key factor is whether the tool works without root or I mean without this routing or jailbreaking requirements. Uh, in the real world, devices used by customers are standard unmodified tools. Unmodified phones. Okay, so if an automation tool needs to be rooted or jailbroken just to run some tests, then obviously we are missing out on the environment where the app might produce a bug normally. Um, One thing, I hope you understand what is a dead phone or jailbroken phone. It's basically like a device where the built-in security and other restrictions have been removed. So what happens is that gives us deeper access to the system, which might be like useful for developers. Okay, but from a end user's perspective, like when we are thinking from an end user's perspective, it doesn't. It's not very practical. Okay, so we can't use a dead or jailbroken phone. And finally is the CI/CD integration. Okay, so most modern dev teams have automated their entire workflow of building an application, then testing it, deploying it to any like testing environment or production environment. So if you are using an automation tool that needs to plug into this workflow, basically like whatever CI/CD tool you're using, be it Jenkins, Azure DevOps, which we call ADO, GitLab, and whatever tool you are using, your automation tool should be able to run these tests within the deployment pipeline. Now, this what I would say, this CI/CD integration and all this might sound little alien to you as of now. Um, like if you haven't used any CI/CD tool earlier, but towards the end of the course, we will show you how to use one of these tools. Okay. So, in brief, all of these factors that I mentioned here together help us choose the correct automation tool. Okay. Now, uh, these are some of the existing tools. that you will see in the market. If you Google, you will find lot of tools. So these are some of the common ones. Out of this, first is Espresso. It is developed by Google, and so it's very good for Android apps. Okay, it's fast, reliable, uh, built right into the Android ecosystem. But there is a big flip catch here. I mean, flip side. It works only for Android. And also another thing is it needs access to the application source code. Okay. Uh, well, this would have been like fine for dev teams, but for us from a black box tester perspective, it is not a very good tool. Same goes for this other second one, XUI test. Okay, it has been developed by Apple only for iOS apps, and this one also needs access to the source code. Then another important is this one Calabash, which is actually a very interesting one. Why? Because even recently, just a few years back, it was getting very popular. Many teams were started using it. The reason being it was very simple to use and very beginner friendly. Hmm. But I don't know what happened after that. The team which was developing this tool just for some reason abandoned the project. I mean, it was an open source, so they abandoned the project, and slowly, gradually, the development community also was pretty much gone. Okay, so there were no there. I mean, there have been no new updates for a long time, because of which this tool doesn't support the modern current versions of Apple and iOS. I mean, Apple and Android, iOS and Android. Okay, the last one. This is actually a very popular one right now. Catalan Studio. Uh, it's popular because it is quite free. I mean, it has a very friendly UI, and there are a lot of built-in features. Okay, it is a low-code tool, what we call nowadays low-code or no-code tool kind of a thing, meaning you don't have to actually code much. But the problem is this is a paid tool. The free version has some limited features, and if you go for the licensing cost, it will like cost you lakhs. Okay. And another problem is you will be always be tied to the vendor's ecosystem. Only their, I mean, CI/CD tools, their source code management tools, only those you have to use. Okay. You don't get the flexibility like whichever third-party tool you want to use. That flexibility and control you won't get. Okay. So when you look at these tools, all these tools that I mentioned, a pattern shows up. They are powerful, yet their usage is very narrow. They are like either platform locked or code dependent, or like in case of Calabash, it's completely outdated now. Huh. Because of which this APM becomes very important for us. Okay, so now let's talk about our tool of interest, that is APM. Okay, so this is an open source automation tool that helps us to run tests in native I mean native as in native applications or hybrid applications or mobile web applications. These terminologies I will come back to you in some time. Okay, so what makes APM so powerful is that it supports both Android and iOS platforms, meaning we can write one set of scripts and run them on both environments without changing our code base. Some like certain minor changes will be there that I will cover during our framework class. Okay. Another thing is it's highly flexible because you can use it in real devices or emulators or simulators. And this terminology is again I will come back to you. So whether we are testing on an actual mobile device or a virtual environment, APM provides a very consistent testing experience. Okay. Next is Appium uses our this what you call WebDriver protocol, the same one that we are using in Selenium as well. So this means that we can write our scripts in any language, be it like Java or Python or JavaScript or C Sharp, anything, whichever you're comfortable with. Uh, right now we will be doing with Java, but if you are hands-on with any other language, you can use that as well. Okay, and because of this, what is happening? The learning curve is also much easier for us. Okay. Um, another key benefit um, is that Appium benefits from a strong community of developers, and we are getting like continuous updates. So that ensures that Appium is always compatible with the latest like Android and iOS versions. Okay, and lastly, this Appium integrates easily with our CI/CD tools, and there is something called cloud device firms. Okay, so we will do it at the fag end of our course. Okay, which means that this means that you can automate our testing, our test scenarios across multiple devices and include it as part of our CI/CD process as well. Okay, so that's about Appium. Yeah. So now coming to the job market, obviously that is the reason why we are doing this course. Okay, so this is a graph that I created based on some data that I found over Google for the Indian market. Okay, currently, if you notice, the number of job openings that you see for mobile automation picked up from somewhere around 2017, 2018. And that's when I also started my work on APM. Uh, and since, if you notice, since from 2021, when this lockdown and all started, there has been a great boom in the number of openings. Okay, and it is like increasing every year on year, it is increasing. One thing I will tell you that I won't be able to guarantee these exact figures like 10,000, 13,000. I won't be able to guarantee it. I just went through some random websites and got this data. But one thing I can ensure is that this boom in mobile automation, this started since the COVID era, and it is still now it's going strong. Okay, so that's why it's actually a very good time to move into this role because the demand is increasing. Okay, but the supply, what from my experience, what I have seen, supply is still fairly limited. Okay, so it's, I would say if you are, what to say, technically strong, have the full knowledge of APM, it will be very easy for you to change into this role. Um, Same goes for the salary or compensation that a person with mobile automation skill set is getting. Okay, so these are some data that I found for people with like 5 to 8 years experience across different job sites. Okay, so as I mentioned in my previous slide, that the demand is high, but supply is limited. Okay, so I would say mobile automation testers are getting significantly higher than their counterparts having only web automation skill set. Obviously, there are like some other factors also involved here. I'm not a market research guy, so I won't be able to exactly tell what are those factors. But like from my experience, while I have also like worked with multiple companies, so while I have been job hunting, I have seen better offers for coming for APM when I compare it with Selenium, just a Selenium role. Okay. Again, like a quick disclaimer that I won't be able to guarantee these numbers, uh, whether these numbers are correct or not. From different websites, I got it. Okay. So now coming to some terminologies that I used in my previous session, in the previous slide. First is the type of devices. I mean, the type of mobile apps. Sorry, the type of mobile apps. Uh, Here you will see three types: native, hybrid, and browser based. Okay, the first is native, native apps. So what are these native apps? These are like basically built for one particular platform. It can be like Android or iOS. Okay, so these apps will be built for that particular platform using that particular language and UI components. And because of this, they are really fast and integrated. Okay. Then comes hybrid apps. Okay, so these hybrid apps are a mix of like native and web technology. By web technology, I would say HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all, and they are put together in a single app. Okay, so these apps will look like normal apps. You can install them also like normal apps, but much of the content will be rendered using a web view. When we start with the our APM course, you will like just get to know about these things: native app, hybrid app. When we start the course, you will get a better understanding. So the good thing about hybrid app is they are cheap, they are fast, um, and I mean you can fast. I mean not fast in the performance sense. They are fast to build. I mean develop, but the problem is their performance is not as good as native apps. Okay, just if I give you some example, uh, our this side, any site that uses a payment part, okay, wherever you're trying to do some payment, okay, that will be a hybrid app. For example, take your any e-commerce site. Okay, so the initial part that will be your native part, where you can select, do the login, select any product, do the checkout and all. So that will be a native app. Then when you go to the payment part, so that payment part, since you're going to a different like banks website and all, so that part will be web part. So that will be your hybrid app. Okay, and any utility tool like I would say this Google Pay and all these things. So these will be all your just native apps. Those are also done used for payment purpose only, but that payment you are doing within your app itself. You are not going to any third party bank or any third party other site to do the payment. Okay. The third type is our browser based. So these are nothing but where you open your Chrome browser or Safari browser and hit the URL and all. So those will be your browser based apps. Okay. Um, After this, we have two types of devices where we generally run our tests. One is your physical device and other is your virtual device. Physical device is nothing but like your actual original mobile phone. Okay, so there you connect your device with your laptop using a USB cable, and you can run your tests. Okay, you can see the app is launching, all the things are happening like that. And second is virtual device. So this virtual device is basically what like a virtual phone that you install in your machine and run your tests in that. So there are two terminologies for this. One is emulator and another is simulator. So if you're running an Android virtual device, so that will be called an emulator. And if you're running an iPhone device, virtual device on your machine, that will be called a simulator. Okay, so just remember these terminologies. These are important. When I talk about the go through the course, you will get more understanding and it will be easier for you to understand. Okay, so that's about our terminologies. Next is the client server architecture. So I just wanted to give you a brief overview how this APM thing works before we like dive into the, I mean, from tomorrow we start our actual course. So here, if you notice, uh, I have mentioned the key components. So there are few components in our architecture. One is this APM client, that is your actual script that you have written in like Java, Python, etc. Whichever language you're using, that script is called APM client. Next is APM serve. It is a lightweight Node.js server file, which is actually installed in your, I mean, in your machine itself, and you need to keep it up and running uh, when you're running your scripts. Then comes this APM driver. So what it does is whatever scripts you are running, the commands you are sending to APM server, it will uh, convert it to this Android native language or iOS native language and help you run the tests in your devices. And then obviously you have this our device under test. That is what we call our physical devices or emulators or simulators. Okay. So if you look at this flow, this is your script. You run it. It will first send the command to this APM server. That APM server will first check whether this is a Android command or a this iOS command. Okay, then it will send it to the correct engine. So we have two types of engines here. The Android engine is called the UI automated 2 engine, and the iOS one is called XUI test engine. Okay, these are the ones that are developed by Google and Apple. Okay, so APM server, what it will do, it will convert your code into their native language and send it to that particular engine. That engine will then send the command to the actual device, and that is how your tests will run. Okay, and this whole thing that is happening, this whole communication that is happening through something called W3C WebDriver protocol. Okay, earlier, like those who have worked with Selenium, they will know that now even Selenium from version 4, we are using this W3C WebDriver protocol. Okay, same thing from APM 2 onwards, we introduced this protocol. Earlier, we used to use something called the JSON wire protocol. Okay, that has been converted into this one. So that's about uh, the overview of APM. Okay. Actually wanted to show one demo just to increase your curiosity, but that I will do tomorrow because I have to discuss about this course and all, course details and all. Okay. So this is your overall course that you will be following. I will share the day-to-day plan as well tomorrow. Okay, I have prepared it, but it was in my other machine, so I need to take it here. Okay, so as part of this course, we will first start with Java. Okay, so those who are new to automation, new to Java, it is important for them. Okay, we will be doing all the concepts over the next 2 to 3 days, so that when we start the actual APM scripting, it will be easier for you to understand. Okay, and I know some of you guys are from Selenium have already worked on Java, so I would just tell you just to have some patience on this. Okay, if you want, you can also just along with others, you can just revise these concepts. Okay, after that we will come into the actual APM part from I think day 4 onwards. Okay, there we will be doing all the setup. So this setup we will be I want to do it on my Windows machine. Okay, but since today I was having some problem, I will see what the issue is happening. Okay, else we will. I already have a detailed structure prepared for the setup part, and that setup is actually very important. Okay, Mm, I would say like in your APM course, 50% will be your challenge will be in the setup part. So that I want to I will be doing in my Windows machine. Okay, and also share you a detailed copy like how to do each step one by one. Okay, after that we will start with our Android automation. There we'll be doing all the different like what are the different locators to use, what are the different commands. Then we have something called gestures like tap, long tap, double tap, the type of gestures that you do on your normal mobile phone. Those same gestures we need to replicate through our automation scripts. So those gestures we will be doing in the different types of weights, automation with hybrid apps, mobile browser apps, and all. After that, we will be moving to iOS automation. Okay. Uh, Over there, we will be doing the setup for Xcode, how the different, there are separate locators for iOS apps, how those we can use and all. After that, we will move to our end-to-end framework development. So we will be doing our framework development using TestNG. I will obviously give you a brief overview how to use TestNG, um, how the different what are the different components in a framework. Okay, how you can explain those in the interview. That is, those who are working with Selenium, they will know. Framework questions are the most vital questions in your interview. Okay, so how to frame those, how to talk about those, that we will cover. And finally, last like 2 to 3 days, we will be doing learning how to use different third party tools with Appium. First amongst them is Git and GitHub, actually, the source code management. Then we have Jenkins, which is our CI/CD tool, how to use that. And then there is something called Perfecto, which is a cloud environment where you can run your scripts. Like in your local, you might get like 1 or 2 virtual devices, but on that platform you can get like 500 virtual devices. Okay, but since that is like paid tool, I don't have the license. That's like in 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs onwards. Okay, so we will be showing you how to use like 1 or 2 devices in Perfecto. So this is your overall course curriculum that we will be covering, and I would say this will take you some 30 hours apart from 2 days. So we can take some 29 hours. So 1 hour each day, that is 29 days. So this will be your next 29 days of Appium journey. Okay. Yeah. So what are the prerequisites? Like what should you have to learn Appium? So you can be a manual tester. You may not have previously worked with any automation tool. Okay. It is for you since we are covering Java from the basics. It can be for people who have already worked on Java, have good expertise in Selenium, uh, Java, and other tools. It is for them. And it is also for students and graduates. Like in my previous sessions, I have seen few people who have just graduated or about to graduate, and they want to move into this world of testing, automation, and all. So it is for them as well. Okay, so this actually I should have put this slide towards the beginning. So over my, I think I have done some 15 sessions as of now. So these are I was fortunate to get some very good reviews. Okay, so you can just go through those reviews also. It's there in our website. Okay. So now the most important part, that is the course pricing and all. Okay, so my colleagues at Isha Training, they will be able to give you a better idea. But I would just say, like as you have seen, um, in INR it costs some 6,900, and I think it will come around 89 USD in other currencies, and the equivalent one. Okay, so what you will get from this course, that is important. So obviously, you, as I mentioned, you are getting this 30 hours of live training. Okay, then all these sessions that we are having, these are all recorded. So as you saw, I started the recording right from the beginning. So this will continue for the next 30 days. Okay, and all these you will get lifetime access. Okay, at the end of the course, you will get an official like certificate from us that you are certified with Appium. Then obviously you will get some practical questions. Sorry, you will get some practical questions to work on at the end of every session. Like after Java, I will share some questions with you. You can practice. Same with Android automation, iOS automation, and all. And obviously, as I mentioned, you will be getting this real world end to end framework that you can. I would suggest. I mean, if you want to, you can explain that in your interviews. Okay, so that part that will be very important that I want to share with you. Um, and about the timings. Okay, so the timings will be like today it was 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So from tomorrow we'll be starting our regular classes. Okay, that is the paid classes basically. Okay, so that will be in as per India time. We will be doing it every day at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. and by every day I mean Monday to Friday. So weekdays 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. you are booked for this APM sessions. Okay, and like uh, friends who are joining from other countries, like you can convert it to your standard time, like US guys, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, UK 3:30 p.m. and so on. Okay, so from tomorrow we are actually starting our regular class where we will start with Java and all. Okay, so actually that's all from my for today. I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what APM, what is mobile automation, some terminologies, and the main was the course overview, what you can expect. Okay, so if you are, I would say, if you have joined the demo session, you have already taken your first step towards like expertise in mobile automation, and um, we will be looking forward from for you to join from tomorrow. That's yeah, that's all from my end. So yeah, like I mentioned, 10 minutes for Q&A.
Hi, sir. Samir here.
Yeah.
I have two questions. One is whether you will be including the cucumber also in the. Could you please include? That will be very helpful.
Okay. I was planning to use TestNG, but if you prefer Cucumber, then I can do it with Cucumber also. Obviously, both will be difficult for me. Any one I can cover. I
No, sir.
think
Means normally, according to SNG, you can continue, but just one scenario we can show along with cucumber. Just
fine.
one thing.
I can show you. Maybe towards the end of the end-to-end framework sessions, I can show you one framework.
Okay, sir. And in the latest this thing, we can see Selenium also with the MCP server and all, right? The AI aspect. So can you please
Huh.
include that also?
MCP servers, this Claude and all, it will be difficult to cover in this 30 days, but I will see if I can do that. I actually, so honestly speaking, I haven't used APM with that. I have done Selenium, but I will see what I can do. I can't guarantee on that part.
Okay, sir. Like even any AI related aspects also, if you cover, that will be very helpful.
Mm,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Sir, two questions from my side also.
Huh.
What about sir Java? How many days we are basically giving to Java?
So as per my plan, I have given it 3 days, but I plan to cover it within 2 days.
Is it sufficient? 2 days?
No.
See, I don't say I mean, if you want to learn Java thoroughly, it will take you 1 month. Okay, so what I will do, I will go through the basics. I mean, all the different concepts and try to explain you in with simple examples. During the course, if you find any concept, it can be like class, object, inheritance, anything, any concept that you find little difficult, I can revisit that and explain it to you properly.
Okay, fine. And sir, second question is, sir, please try to cover AI part as well, because nowadays it is also asking like, how can you like integrate AI on like your mobile automations? So any
Mhm.
kind of scope are there? So it will be helpful for us.
Mm, will this one Copilot help you?
Yeah, Copilot, MCV server, both ways.
No, no, not MCP service. Okay, okay, then I just need to rethink about the overall course. I will try to include one day at least.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Hello.
Yeah.
So for this, prerequisite, do we require Java knowledge because I'm new to this automation? I have 4 years
Haha,
and
that's the
new.
that's why. So I will be covering Java extensively over the next 3 days. Okay, so I hope that will clear your basic understanding. Huh. And if like after that, if you need some more help while doing our APM scripting, I can share the details over that. Okay, so my goal is basically to cover the basics of Java within the next 3 days. After that, we start with the actual concepts of APM. Okay, at that time, if you find some concept difficult or you don't understand it, just you can raise your hand. I can immediately show you the example to explain that concept.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi.
So my question is like how much time we will give for parallel testing, like two devices?
So yeah, that will be covered as part of your those 10 days of end-to-end framework.
Okay, okay. And if also iOS, I have to do more of iOS. So if I have to ask questions and any doubts, so can I ask after the class also anytime? I mean, what will be the good time?
Oh, okay. So see, one thing I forgot to mention. So you have been given access to this group WhatsApp groups. Okay. So I think I mean those who are paying the course and joining, for them there will be a separate WhatsApp group. Okay. So there you can always post your questions. Maybe like towards the I mean towards the end of the day, I will sit with all the questions and try to answer those. And if not that day, next day, I will definitely try to answer those questions. Okay, so generally what I do is I sit I mean after my office work, I sit with that WhatsApp group and try to resolve all those questions whatever you are asking.
Yeah. Hello, Abhijit.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So thank you for the demo. And do you show? I'm going to say like what app do we need to install? Like any specific
Haha.
app or
Yes,
build?
yes, yes. Yeah, so I do have some demo apps with me. Okay, there are some apps for Android, some for iOS, and I have kept one app that's an e-commerce app that will be there for both Android and iOS. Okay, so those you can use for the end-to-end framework and for your overall automation practice. So I will be
So
sharing those. I will be sharing those apps with you.
so do I need to own an iPhone for this? I have an Android. So
See,
should,
generally, what candidate students do is they understand the things. Those who have MacBook and all that is then it is fine, and those who don't have, though they can just go through the this main change will be your locators. Okay, so the locators, I would suggest you just get an understanding, and I mean whenever you get time, you go through those videos again and again. Okay.
yeah,
Um,
okay.
so it shouldn't be a problem as such, because like whenever I take in interviews in my company as well, so I don't focus on Android or iOS. I focus on the concepts. Okay,
Yes.
but main will be that locators part that you can just go through the sessions again and again. You will get an hold.
Yeah. Okay, Abhijit.
Um, Abhijit, do we need any
Anything?
real device?
See, real device. Actually I have never seen anyone in the project. We never use real device. Okay. So I will be focusing mostly on the this emulator simulators and later on Perfecto. Okay, so one day I have kept for that Perfecto execution. Real devices you generally don't use. You actually use real device for manual testing purpose. I mean, as of now, I've never seen any project who are running automation scripts in real device. That's not possible also.
Okay, then fine.
Yeah. But yeah, don't worry about the setup part. Setup what I will do it I will remove all my app setup, whatever I have currently, and do it in front of you so that you get a understanding, and whatever challenges you can face, you will get an understanding on that. Any other questions? Okay. So I think that will be all for today. Uh, yeah, so that will be all for today. Let me stop the sharing also and stop the recording.